Hello my dear students, welcome to back my channel. Today in this video I am going to talk about how to balance an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Well, there are two diagrams are given here. First we consider this diagram. Here resistances are given. Let we denote the resistance 8 ohms by P, 12 ohms by Q, 16 ohms by R and 20 ohms by S. Now if we take the ratio of P and Q and R and S, then their ratio will be not same. It implies that these bridges are not in balance. So we consider how we can make this bridge as a balance. In this case we consider P, Q, R, these three resistances are fixed, but the resistance of these S is not fixed. It is variable. Okay, now we consider the required resistance here is S prime, okay, to make it balance. Now first we have to find out the value of S prime. Okay, we know from balance condition that P by Q equals to R by S prime, or from here we get S prime equals to QR by P. Okay, now putting the value, S prime equals to Q is 12, R is here 16 and P is 8. So here S prime is here 24 ohms. So from it we get, to make the unbalanced bridge we need 24 ohms resistance here instead of 20 ohms. So what we have to do? We have to increase the resistance, because the required resistance is 24 ohms but given resistance is 20 ohms. So in this case we have to increase resistance. Okay, now to increase the resistance we can connect an external resistance here in series. Why? Because we know in series combination the equivalent resistance increases. As we need to increase the resistance, that's why we are connecting this resistance in series with S. Suppose this resistance is X. Okay, so here we get X plus S equals to S prime. Okay, in this case the combination of X and S must be equals to S prime. Okay, from it we get X equals to S prime minus S. Now putting value, S prime is 24 minus 20 equals to 4 ohms. So from this calculation we get, if we connect a 4 ohms external resistance in series with S, then the unbalanced Wheatstone bridge will become balanced. Okay, hope you got it. Now the second circuit, here we again consider the 9 ohms resistance by P and 27 ohms by Q, 20 ohms by R and 100 ohms by S. Again in this case if we take the ratio of P and Q and also the ratio of R and S, then their ratio will be not same. It also implies the bridge is not in balance. Now again we can change the value of S here to make it balance. Suppose in this case the required resistance is S prime. So again from this equation we can calculate the S prime. Okay, now putting the value here, Q is 27, R is 20 and P is 9. So from it we get it is 60 ohms. So to make this balanced Wheatstone bridge as unbalanced Wheatstone bridge as balanced, we need 60 ohms at the fourth arm or leg. but here given resistance is 100 ohms. So in this case we have to decrease the resistance. Here 100 ohms are given, but the required resistance is 60 ohms. That's why we have to decrease the resistance. Now what we can do, we can connect an external resistance in parallel with S, and suppose this resistance is X. Why? Because we know if we connect and resistance in parallel, then their combination or equivalent resistance will be decreased. Okay, that's why we have to connect it a resistance in parallel. So in this case 1 by S plus 1 by X equals to 1 by S prime, or here we get 1 by X equals to 1 by S prime minus 1 by S, or X equals to S prime S divided by S minus S prime. Okay, now putting the value here, S prime is 60, S is 100 divided by 100 minus 60. Okay, so the value of X is 150 ohms. So from this calculation we can say that if we add 150 ohms in parallel with the 100 ohms, then the bridge will be in balance. Hope you got your answer.